Hello, and welcome back onto the course of nutrition. This is the sixth lecture, and today we're going to be talking about performance. So this lecture is made for people who are physically active and who are trying to find ways how to feel even better in their physical performance, in their general well-being, in their sleep, in their quality of life, and maybe even for those who are trying to inspire others or working with people such as trainers or physical, like physiotherapists and so on. So why is this topic important? Because first of all, obviously, physical activity is an investment, and I hope it's an investment that gives you pleasure on its own as well. But generally, it is something that we're usually trying to improve with time. And I find that often people are doing a lot to improve, and really, especially regarding nutrition, we all know that there's a really big influence on how we're going to feel after the workout or during the workout, depending on how well we can nourish ourselves. But at the same time, I often find that people are exaggerating their investment regarding nutrition. And I think that it's often very clever to understand, like, where is the balance, where the investment is actually going to bring you the best outcome of your performance. And so this time we're really going to be focusing on the main things that really makes a difference. So you don't also over invest in your nutrition, because obviously it takes time, it takes practice, and you really want to be focused on what really matters. As well, of course, regarding what is good nutrition for performance or for athletes is going to be dependent on a lot of factors. So it always should be taken as an individualized approach, and there is no one right recipe. But at the same time, there is some common things that I think, like, when we have the knowledge, when we have the skills, we can adopt this, right? But at the same time, of course, the more intense, the more professional the sports gets, and then we need to make it very precise, and we need to take it and look at it very individually. But I hope that this knowledge is going to be broad enough for you to find what you're looking for and to get more information on how to really improve on this. And I think that the biggest reason why it's really important to talk about this topic is because sports is a stress aspect, right? So, like, when we're doing physical performance, physical activity, it's going to be stress on our bodies. Yeah, so it's always important to find ways how to reduce the risks of this stress, and so there can be actually a lot of risks connected with physical performance or physical movement, and the risk of actually doing harm. And the risks are several, actually. Like, first of all, it's decreased performance. Yeah, that could come, for an example, from lack of carbohydrates, and that can lead to low energy, early fatigue. And for an example, inadequate protein can lead to muscle loss and slow recovery, which is something that we definitely don't want. Poor dehydration can lead to dehydration, cramps, and dizziness. Another thing is that lack of post-workout nutrition can cause prolonged muscle soreness, and as well inadequate glycogen replenishment that again leads to lower recovery times. Another aspect is increased injury risk. As again, it's a stress either way, yeah. But if we do not understand that malnourishment or lack of pre-nutrition is going to influence the risk, yeah, it's going to be really hard to take care. Yeah. And so what can happen is that it can lead to weak muscles or bones due to low calcium, vitamin D, and protein, and even actually calories themselves. We see a lot of research of just Either it's a fluctuation for the hormones, especially for women, because of lack of calories, for an example, or it's lack of frequency that can lead to lower bone density and osteoporosis in the future. Yeah, so we have to take care that it's not a risk for us as well. And of course, that can also lead to slower healing from the injuries. Another one is weakened immune system. So poor intake of vitamins and minerals are higher risk of illness and infections that could lead to frequent colds or slower wound healing. The fifth one would be hormonal imbalances, which I mentioned slightly, and again, that can come from low calorie intake, and that can lead to menstrual issues or low testosterone for men. Can as well lead to RED, so it's a short for relative energy deficiency in sports, as well as there was the athlete's triad. Maybe you've heard of that, where there is lack of menstruation, a lower bone density because of the energy consumption, total energy consumption. And the sixth one is mental and cognitive effects. So brain fog, lack of focus due to low blood sugar, increased stress, increased mood swings, and of course, as well, eating disorders that can absolutely influence your mental and cognitive effects and generally the quality of life a lot. We did talk about that in previous lectures, so I don't think that I have to focus on it a lot, but keep in mind that actually athletes, especially some part of athletes, which we will talk today, have a really high risk of eating disorders. Yeah, so the topics that we're going to cover today is hydration and electrolyte balance in sports. We're going to be talking about sports supplements, and is it worth to have them? Is it worth to implement them in your daily routine? What is the evidence behind that? What could be the side effects for using them? Then we will talk about nutrient timing for performance and recovery. And so basically, what and when you should be eating, and what is the connection as well with the performance. And then we will focus rather more on different types of athletes and what could be their specific kind of goals and focus. And so we can cover most of the kind of needs for each type of athlete. Then let's begin with hydration and performance. And I really do believe that this is one of the most important aspects because, as we know, that we are 60% or even more percent of water, and even small fluctuations in hydration can lead to really, really big performance changes. And we know that maintaining adequate hydration is crucial for athletes. Because even mild dehydration can impair performance. Dehydration leads to a decrease in blood volume that reduces blood flow to the muscles. And we will need those muscles, as we know. This reduction can result in higher body pressure, higher blood pressure, and higher body temperature. That can decrease sweat rate, increase muscle glycogen utilization, elevate heart rate, and heighten perception of effort, all of which negatively affect performance. It is recommended to begin exercise in a hydrated state and aim to prevent body weight reductions no greater than 2% due to sweat loss during activity.